Hello and welcome to another video from salesberg.com.
In this video we shall be looking at Antec kuhler H20 920 liquid cooling system for your CPU. Now let's start with the unboxing. Comes with the packaging, as you see, some pictures at the back and so forth. And once we open it, recycled paper packaging. Out of the box, there's some foam padding. First thing we are greeted with is, well, they include a CD. What does it have? Chill control. Okay, software for fan management, fan RPM management, and so forth. Installation guide with pictures and so forth. Multilingual. Okay, so it's telling us to reboot the PC once you have finished installing the hardware and software for the kuhler H20 920 to ensure proper operation. Reboot your PC once you have finished installing the hardware. How can you change the hardware without shutting down your computer? It's a CPU cooler. Anyhow, let's look at the other components. So first thing first, there's one fan. These Antec's own fan. There we are. 4-pin. Second one, identical. Pretty short lead though. Oh, okay, fair enough. So that's the radiator. Goes on a 120 millimeter fan mounting place. Anywhere there is a position for 120 millimeter fan, that's where we can fit it. And what do we have here? Of course, for the fans and the PWM cable. Or CPU cable, and various mounting hardware, all different types of supports various Intel and AMD sockets. So let's install it and then see the finished products, and we shall be looking at some temperatures as well. Okay, installation. We need to prepare the black ring which will hold the pump down. Now there are some of these green clips, and what we need to do is slide it in like so. And this here is the AMD ring. There also is the Intel ring, which looks like so. And it should look like this. Next, we have to take the existing brackets out with the screws that's already installed. Okay, to install the backplate, here we have this sort of how we call it, screw receiver. And they are inserted into, there we go, like so, for all four, and then that will come through from the other side of the motherboard and receive the screw from the ring. So that's the backing plate prepared, and I shall push it in from the other side. Okay. all the holes lined up. And the ring. Okay, so that's all the 4 screws in place, but this one had been left a little bit loose. That's on purpose. Why that is because once the pump goes in, that's when we tied it, so it grabs on properly. Okay, so that's the radiator installed. I've chosen to mount it outside. Normally this is recommended that you install it inside. There are some reasons why I'm doing this at this point in time. Now, if in case you intend to install it outside like I have, make sure you have some sort of a grill covering your fan. Antec did not provide me with this grill. Luckily it came with the case, so I just unscrewed it and installed it over here, which is great. Now this fan is much more protected. Another thing to note is over here there are 2 arrows. One shows the direction of the spin of the cable, the other shows which direction the air is flowing. So we need to make sure that this one is pushing out, this one is pulling out, hence they're not contradicting each other. You can possibly have it pulling in as well, but that way once the air goes through the radiator it gets warmer, and when we're sucking in warm air, that can be counterproductive, but I don't know, someone might have a reason to do something like that. Anyhow, it's just something to talk about. Regardless, next step would be to install the pump. Okay, the copper plate, contact plate, comes with thermal paste pre-applied. Now I'm going to be using it, except if you uninstall it, obviously you would need to reapply thermal paste. So here we go. Okay, so once it's pushed into the ring and then it's turned, it catches in, and then we have to tighten the screws in a X pattern. So first a little bit here, then a little bit on the other side. Okay, next the connectivity. Now these are the 2 cable for the fans. One there, another one there. I was hoping to use these with the motherboard's own management system, but because Antec has its software to do the RPM management, I'll just leave it there. And the CPU and the USB. Now, be careful where you are placing the USB cable. Refer to your manual, just in case if you get it the other way around. So there we are. That's the installation complete. Next we shall test it and we shall see the performance as such. Okay, we're looking at the Antec's chill control utility. Now it shows a few things in the main screen: the liquid temperature, current sound level, the fan speeds, pump speed. That's it. And on the top right over here is a toggle that goes from extreme, silent and custom. There are graphs as well over here that shows liquid temperature, fan speed as it's going up and down. There's fan control as well. We can do advanced management of RPM and so forth to maintain a particular type of temperature that we're happy with, and of course settings and so forth. Now let's do a quick test. Let's say put it in extreme. Okay, so that pretty much puts everything on full. Fan, as you can hear, it becomes very loud, and the fan speed as shown on the graph also goes up. Okay, so we can see that the temperature of the liquid is falling. There's the fan speed, it's quite high at this point in time. Over here the temperature is being, the sound level is being shown, and the temperatures in general. There's the dial for the RPM again. Now if we put it on silent, there, the sound level falls. Okay, time to do some stress testing. Now what we have over here for our setup is a temperature graph for the CPU, and it will be changing as the CPU temperature changes. Next, fan speed, that's the temperature of the liquid inside the liquid cooler. Now obviously as the CPU temperature rises, we expect that the CPU temperature will rise, liquid temperature will rise as well. Over here I have the system monitor, task manager, just to see the load on the CPU. Now to put pressure on the CPU, we shall be using Prime 95, maximum heat. There we go. So all 8 cores are now being pushed. To verify that, we have over here as well the graph on each one of them has just shot up, and the temperature on the CPU graph over here is rising as well. Now we've left it over here in silent, so at one stage I expect it to be plateaued. So while we are at it as well, I would like to show you something else. CPU octal core AMD Bulldozer 4334 megahertz. So what it's showing is that it has been overclocked. Normally it should be 4 gigahertz, now it's 4.33 gigahertz. So this here, a test is actually on the overclocked CPU, and we will keep this running until the temperature plateaus. Okay, I believe we have reached our plateau. The current CPU temperature is 55 degrees Celsius, and the current liquid temperature, the water temperature, appears to be at about 42-43 degrees. And furthermore, the fan RPMs still pretty much hovering near 700-ish. Now I'll take some live temperatures. Let's see, in the system the current ambient temperature is about 15 degrees, 13 degrees I think it was. The pump shows about 33 degrees. The reservoir at 34 degrees. On the top of the reservoir 31 degrees. At the grill, seems like the air temperature is about 26 degrees. However, the ambient temperature now is 12.5 degrees. So the fact that the air temperature coming out of the grill is about 28-27 degrees, that means a rise of about 13 degrees delta. It's pretty good actually. And at the bottom of the case the temperature is about 15 degrees, 15.9. So it's pretty cold over there, but warm at the CPU's pump. There we are. There we are. Now the next thing I'm going to do is the following. We're going to see the temperature dropping. If we needed the temperature to drop suddenly, how fast would that happen? Now for that, what I'll do is I'll turn off the Prime 95. Stop. There we are. Minimize that. Stop all workers. Yes. Go. That's the graph. Now I'm going to put it in extreme. Go. So at 2 a.m. 26 minutes and 30 seconds, the temperature was exactly 50 degrees. 30 seconds later, it was just above 40. So every 30 seconds the fall is per 30 seconds it's about, let's say, 8 degrees. And same here, you can see that the temperature of the liquid is also falling down pretty quickly. Anyhow, this demonstrates that the cooler's capability. Overall, pretty solid performer. In the tests, the CPU temperature did not exceed 60 degrees. The installation was not the easiest, however, once installed, the setup was pretty secured and the overall build quality is pretty good. So what we have here is a simplified water cooling system with decent performance.
Thank you for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Your comments and suggestions are most welcome. Please subscribe in order to stay updated with our latest videos. Bye for now.